Why I call BS on the slave ship story. This video first woke me up to this topic. Africans were in the Americas before Columbus. Hotep Jesus, go watch that. He was speaking facts. Now, don't get me wrong. I already knew Africans inhabited everywhere on this planet first, but my mind was still twisted. I knew that we was everywhere, but I'm still caught up thinking that we was brought here on slave ships. So what I'm saying is that Africans were already on the planet millions of years before every other race. But you're telling me we didn't know there was land outside of Africa, but white man knew? Meanwhile, the Africans taught white man everything they knew? It just doesn't make sense. Look at ancient Egypt. They had boats in museums. They had paintings of boats all over. Look at early America, South and North. Thousands of years before the so-called slave ship story even happened, we was already here. Our faces is everywhere. The Buddhas of ancient Asia. African faces all over. Asian Europe. African faces all over. But the slave trade story makes it seem like we're only here because the white man brought us here. Now this is where I really call BS. When you search up how many slaves were taken from Africa, they're going to tell you 12.5 million. I understand some people might say we sold our own, but it was on accident because they lied to us. Even if that is the case, once the white people take 1 million Africans away from Africa, wouldn't that wake us up like, yo, they're taking too much of our people? How do you get to 12.5 million? And how do you bring 12.5 million people on boats? Does that make sense to you? Be honest. And now this is where I really don't believe in the slave ship story. When you search up where are the slave ships now, it's only paintings, drawings, or 3D effects they made on computers. You brought 12.5 million Africans on boats. Yet you don't have one slave ship remaining, not in a museum, nowhere. They all randomly disappeared or got destroyed. That's what you're telling me. Like I said, it's all about common sense. The story contradicts itself so many times. Some people, when I brought this up, said they wanted to take as many people from Africa as they could so they could take it for themselves. That could be a possibility. I'm not going to say that isn't a possibility. But 12.5 million? Maybe some Africans did come on slave ships. Maybe it did happen. But I say less than 5,000. I don't say any more than 5,000. And even then, I still think that's a stretch. Maybe they did bring some Africans on slave ships for a stunt to make it seem like they brought all of us here. They needed just a ship full of Africans to come here to make it seem like that's where all of us came from. It was just a stunt to put in the history books. Maybe it could be a possibility. But you're not going to say and tell me they brought 12.5 million people from Africa and sent them all around the world. We was already everywhere. That's just, I can't listen to that. And on top of that, you don't got one remaining slave ship, not even in the museum, to show your proof. I just have common sense. I just want people to hear from this view. Like, when you really think about it, does it make sense? I don't think so. I'm running out of time. Follow for more.